As I mentioned earlier, the third type would be pump hydro. But the pump hydro is more of an energy storage technology rather than a purely energy generation technology. And so the pump hydro is actually the most cost-effective form of large energy storage available around the world. And it has been used by many countries for the main purpose of storing this energy when just to make sure that there is energy to provide when the demand increases. So the way it works is similar with how the dams work, but the principle is basically like a conventional dam, the hydroelectric power station. But instead of having only one big reservoir at the top here for the dam, in this case, we have now two reservoirs. And so these two reservoirs, there's a lower reservoir here, and the other one is an upper reservoir. So the way it works is that similar with dams, it releases the water from the upper reservoir when we need to generate electricity. So once it goes back here, electricity is out. And then usually at nighttime when the demands are off peak, for example, when the price is cheap and the demand is low, then we can use that excess energy from the daytime of generation to power the pump to return the water on the upper reservoir. So once we return the water on the upper reservoir, so we're using electricity here, but this is an excess energy in the previous energy generation. So in this case, we can only now we can put the water on top just in case the demand increases. So when both demand and the prices are high, for the electricity prices are high, then we can release again the water to the lower reservoir. All right, so this enables us to have a better use of more variable sources of energy when depending on the demand and the prices of electricity. So we can think of the pump hydro as a very large battery. So it means we can actually store energy coming from various sources, like for example from a nuclear plant, from solar PV, or from wind energy. If they have excess energy from these facilities, then they can store this one in by powering the pump to return the water to the upper reservoir, so that when the need arises, then you can just pump it down to generate the electricity. So this is very, very useful. In fact, the efficiency is pretty high as well compared to other batteries, for example. So similar to other technologies, we have some losses as well when we use this pump hydro, just similar with the hydropower as well. So around a lot of this were due to the friction throughout the pipes here, the efficiency of the turbine, as well as the efficiency of the generator. So there are a lot of energy losses, but efficiency can go up to 70 to 80%. And so this is about 20% energy loss. But if you compare this one to other types of battery, like for example in lithium ion battery or for hydrogen storage, we still can see that it's quite still high in terms of its efficiency. So pump hydro is very attractive as a form of energy storage device. And so, as I mentioned earlier, if we have other facilities like solar energy or solar PV has excess electricity during your generation, so instead of wasting that electricity, you can store the excess electricity towards the powering of the turbine or the pumps to return the water to the upper reservoir. So in this case, we are actually storing the energy rather than wasting the energy. So this is one of the main advantages of the pump hydro. Of course, probably one of the main disadvantages of this one is that when you have two reservoirs, you need to have a difference of height. Without a difference of height, then that would not really work that well. So in terms of a height difference, then we need at least 200 meters of height difference to generate a good electricity, as well as to generate enough battery storage here. 200 meters to 300 meters of height difference. So in that case, we need some form of a hill. If you don't have a hilly land, that would be a big problem. But especially in Australia, we have a number of sites where we can install such a pump hydro, like for example in Snowy Mountains, where Snowy 2.0, the pump hydro project is undergoing for this specific purpose of storing energy. So in terms of capacity, more than 145 gigawatts of generating capacity was provided by this type of pump storage throughout the world. And this provides around 97% of as a battery storage throughout the world. In fact, so 97%, that's a lot of energy that is being stored by pump hydro. And most of these pump hydro or the energy capacity, generating capacity are in Europe with about 45 gigawatts. We have also in Japan, China, and the USA. So as in general, just like hydro, the dams, this kind of pump hydro is more of like a dispatchable energy or energy that can be controlled by the operator of how much it can exactly generate depending on the demand and the prices. So this is probably one of the uh, good solutions in the future, especially for to have a more sustainable energy future, like in Australia. So please take note of pump hydro as an energy storage technology or a source of battery, but a type of battery in this case.